We had this great experience and we met a guy at like a truck rest stop or something, and he had an Antiflag shirt on, and he said, and we're like, oh, it's bold to be wearing that. I think we were in the South or somewhere sketchy. And they're like, that's bold to be wearing that out, rolling in middle America. And he said, actually, I use it as a barometer, because if I know if somebody comes up to me and they're not offended by the shirt, I know that they're one of my people. And I'm like, oh, that's a great way of looking at it, where a lot of people are, they wear a shirt and they have to deal with the consequences. He sees it as a badge of honor, and people who also see it that way are comrades to him.
We have politicians that are ripping off the American people all the time, but some of them are considered the biggest patriots of all because they say, well, I won't desecrate the flag. So for those reasons, I think that the term patriotism is just kind of a loaded term. There's not a lot behind it in many instances, and a lot of times people hide behind that term, or they hide behind the flag. And that's really what the name Anti-Flag is meant to challenge, the idea that, there is a false patriotism that's out there in this world, that's out there in this country. And so we think that being an American is about a lot more than whether you call yourself a patriot or not, or whether you fly a flag or not.
When you say support the troops or something glib,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, because again, politicians all the time,
they're supporting the troops, but they're not sending their kids to fight and die. We've been lucky to have been around for a long enough time to see politics and activism come and go in and out of fashion. And we are always happy when it comes back into fashion, because people are aware of what's going on and they're willing to stand up and fight against things. So we are not the kind of people who are like, no, Johnny come lately, you can't be part of our movement. We want to have everybody part of the movement. And we realize that throughout history, activism becomes less fashionable and it goes away. But there are always a core group of people who are being activists, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And those people are there for when the next wave of activism becomes fashionable.
So there's always an ebb and flow, but I really think that it is important that people realize, like, our work is never done. Just because you beat them back one time doesn't mean they go away forever. It means they're just waiting for their next opportunity. It's good that people get involved, but once we beat them back this time, as we have every single time, people need to stay engaged to a certain degree.
I always wondered, if it's a circular kind of feedback loop, because I get, the older I get, the more I travel, the more aware I get, the more I like the music. The more I like the music, the more aware I get.
Well, and then you're inspired, because I will take this to a broader thing. When we travel, we go to a place like Kuala Lumpur. We've never been there before, and there's young people there who are interested in the music and activism that we're doing, and that inspires us to continue to create. So I definitely believe it's a feedback loop of people inspiring each other to continue the fight. So if we know that there's other people out there who are fighting as well, it definitely inspires us to keep going.
We come from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, great place to visit. Three River City actually is a great town, and it has a rich labor history. If you go there, you can go to the Heinz History Museum, and you can learn about a lot of different labor history in Pittsburgh. But what we know is that the labor movement in America, and there's a lot of sparks in that labor movement that ignited in Pittsburgh, and for the changes for workers' rights overnight were almost sweeping, and within a generation things had changed incredibly, and my grandfather was working in a mill 7 days a week. All of a sudden they had a 5-day work week for 8 hours, going from a 6 or 7 day work week for 12 hours a day. So things can change, but it really does take people coming together and people working in solidarity with each other and finding likenesses that help build them up.
Yeah, not one person is ever going to save us. It's a group of people, and the more people you have in the streets, the better chance you have of change.
Collective consciousness.
Yes.